This So Steve comes to us from Alexia Sinclair. To the Jew and Jerk from a big fan, first-time emailer. Hey, Steve, do that shit.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Called Lexington. Black dude from England. Here's my old Steve. There's a knock at the door. There's a knock at Bill Cosby's door. Hello, who is this? It's Monica. Are you one of the got Spanish fly in the pudding pot? No. I don't know any called Monica. In a deep man's voice. I used to be called Stefan. Oh, Steve.
Spears and Steinberg.
You know what the it is?
Aries and Andy. Chew and the Jerk.
You know it's time to get this work.
The real raw, gutter, uncut, cold. No political corrections.
Always sleep.
Being awoke. We discuss politics and jokes.
Scribe, we lit.
There's levels to this before you was on your mama.
Aries Spears don't give a fuck.
We talk about race a lot, racism. Much love to my loyal bag holders.
Rollers, loaders.
We got them in the folders.
The whole world on our shoulders.
Spears and Steinberg.
Yeah.
It was the transgender Cosby episode.
I like it because it got me. Like I didn't know that it was that was happening, so it was good.
Right.
I was thinking it was just going to be something going nowhere, and then
It went somewhere.
it went somewhere. Good job. Good job. All right, guys. This is part 2 of our email episode. I'm going to give out the dates early because we didn't get to it last time because we had Godzilla appeared in the in the room. What was it? This, I wonder if it ate the frog. There was a frog in the room, too, and it might have ate the frog. Anyway, let me give out the dates right now. We're wrapping up. We're here in Miami. Great shows. Again, a big shout-out to the Miami Improv, to Justin and Melissa, the managers. Killed it all weekend. This week, you're going to find us February 13th to the 15th at Wise Guys, downtown, West Salt Lake City, Utah. Come out, check out the shows. We haven't been in Utah in a while. Very excited to get back out there. February 21st to the 22nd, we're at the Funny Bone in Albany. February 27th through March 2nd, we're going to be at the DC Comedy Club in DC, back in town, man. I can't wait to get back in there. DC's amazing, amazing comedy club. March 7th through the 8th, we're going to be at the Virginia Beach Funny Bone. March 13th through the 16th, we're going to be at the Improv in Ontario, California. Great to get back out there. Love that. Love that club. March 20th through the 22nd at One Night Stands out in Waterford Township, Michigan. Michigan, you've been saying when we're coming out, we're out. So please grab tickets. Let us know that you know we're coming, and we're excited to be out there. March 28th to the 29th, we're going to be at the Cincinnati Funny Bone in Liberty Township. Time to grab some chili. April 4th through the 6th, we're going to be at the Improv in San Jose, California. That's been a little bit...
That's San Jose.
San Jose. Yeah, there you go. For Sway, who doesn't like the way that I said his name because I never read it off on the emails. But anyway, I don't care anymore. April 11th through the 13th, we're going to be at the Funny Bone in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm going to end it there because we're just a bit outside.
To recap on yesterday's episode of Debauchery, yeah, we ended because Godzilla appeared on Mark's bed. I got to tell you, and to kind of continue to ride where I was coming from, this is what I mean when I go white people. Y'all function on from a different place, man. Like certain shit that don't bother y'all bothers the shit out of black people, and y'all function different, man. Like Mark's got a room here on the first floor of the Intercontinental Hotel, and all the first floors have balconies. And he left his balcony door open because he was like, it's nice. The pool is out there. It's Miami. And with that comes Miami wildlife. Enter this got a frog and a goddamn iguana in the room. And he acting like that's having an extra set of towels. Nigga, it's not normal. We doing the pod. And he goes, Iguana, first of all, when he said it was this big, I thought it was a little bit of an exaggeration. Yo, this was my whole left arm. Then he goes, it's just in a corner off to the side, chilling. Like you could almost have to look for it with a flashlight.
You would have
and a search
early.
team. Let me tell you, man, towards the end of the pod, this slowly crawls on the bed. And I mean, the length, it's the size of the pillow.
It was there the whole time.
I saw it. It came in my peripheral last second.
Just reaching up.
Just slowly, methodically crawling. Man, I swear to God, I damn near jumped out the back window.
Okay, here's the really thing that I'm going to tell you about Mark, because Mark, not that I'm trying to get him in trouble with you, but I'm going to tell you this. Because when you came in, I wanted to let you know he's there. And he goes, no, don't, because he didn't want you to. He didn't. If that thing would have appeared and we hadn't told you.
Oh, my God. It'd have been worse.
Yeah, we'd be tracing you down the street right now. And you wouldn't come back. So that's the thing.
I wouldn't have come back knowing that it was still here. And I'm not doing the podcast, and this nigga's chilling off to the left. So the fact that you got it out of here, which I was surprised, because I thought it would be a real struggle. But now that it's gone,
It's comfortable.
Yeah.
But see, the funny thing is, though, like in that episode, I was saying, people have them as pets. They do, but those are kind of become domesticated. They know the person in the room. This thing's a wild iguana from outside. It doesn't give a about us one way or the other. And what was funny is it's been in here. When I came over, it was behind the door, and we tried to get it out, and it went behind the bed and hid. Now, I didn't want it in here either, but there's nothing we're going to do, and I wanted to do the podcast.
This is what I mean when I go, this is why you guys are built different. So the on the bed, and next to the bed is this little, I don't know what you call this, lounge chair sofa thing. But it's, what would you say the distance is from the mattress?
3 feet.
3 feet. This leaps 3 feet in the air and lands on this thing. And Andy opens both these doors behind us, and he's going, come on, let's go, come on. White people believe that animals, y'all like Aquaman. Y'all think animals, and at one point Mark said something, and I go, like the has ears. Like he's listening to you, and he's gonna go, oh, I'm gonna run back outside, because Andy is going, come on. I'm telling white people, that's why you guys get up by sharks and bears and lions. You think it's human beings.
No.
They're not.
First of all, I'm sending that out to the universe. Come on, because I needed to get out. 2, I know what it wants to do. It's been in that corner all the time, and it started to go this way because it wanted out of here. And it let us know that it wanted out. So that's why I opened up the doors. I know it wants out. What did it do? It went out. It needed to go out. It wanted to go out. It didn't want to be in here with you anymore. It was tired of listening to Nazis.
Telling you, man, y'all.
Aries is right, though. Iguanas have terrible hearing.
Do they have bad hearing?
Yeah, I don't know. They can only hear like certain high frequencies, I think.
Well, they heard Aries yelling then.
Or low frequencies. Lower frequencies.
Gerby Marcellus.
I love that name, man.
Yeah. Email, what's up, Aries and Andy? One of the first things I'm doing when I time travel is to see if OJ really did it and I got away. LOL, I'm out. Incidentally, there's a new 4-part documentary on Netflix. And listen, I think Mark may have even asked me the question, or was it somebody else in the emails? I know it's somebody else in the emails. Colsh, as a matter of fact. He was like, there've been a dozen OJ Simpson documentaries. Is this one any different from the we've already seen? Not really. There's a couple different angles in terms of more in-depth, but nonetheless, it's a great watch if you just want to go down memory lane in terms of what that event was. The one thing, there was this one moment that I'd never seen before, where when they show OJ after the chase, he goes home, and then they finally convince him to leave his house and be taken to, the police station. And as he's in the back of the car, one of the detectives says, and it's OJ and 4 white guys in the car. And this is when all the people converged into Brentwood during the chase, a lot of whom were black. And OJ says to him, what are all these doing in Brentwood? And it just goes to show, like, again, it was never about, the acquittal was never about OJ himself, because this was so disassociated from black people in his own culture that it wasn't about him. It was about the system and the history of what black people have endured under the hand of the American justice system. So, but it's a good watch, even though you've seen, you know all this shit. And for the record, you know, if it hadn't been for Mark Furman, I don't think OJ gets off. But that aside, as filthy and as racist and as vile as Mark Furman was and detrimental to that case, OJ did that. I think he did that. He did that. There's just certain moments in that documentary when you look into his eyes and he did that.
See, I know, like that said, a lot of people say that. My thing, the only thing that gives me pause to say that is, and I still believe this, and I know narcissism and megalomania can get you past what I'm about to say. But to know your kids are going to come down the stairs and see their mom with her head basically removed from her body, and that's who's going to find their mom, and to leave her like that, that's like, maybe it's me. I just can't imagine that you could leave that there for your kids.
You know, I'm gonna tell you something, and you know, I'm so far removed from ever swimming in those waters that maybe I'm just talking with a lack of experience. But based on the experience I have had with women, a specific woman, my baby mom's, and how she is and can be, I can say this. And there's a vast difference between thinking about it, fantasizing about it, versus doing it, actually doing it. Listen, we have all thought about, you're a liar if you say no. We've all thought about dark, heinous stuff that in the heat of an anger or a moment or rage that you might but think about doing to your spouse. But what separates from the sane from the insane is actually doing it. And that's major. In a fit of rage, I'm just saying maybe he blanked out and nothing else mattered.
But that being said, after it happens and you see what you've done and now you have to get away with it, but knowing that you're going to leave that for your kids, that's another level of just, I don't even know what you would call it, but another level of just, it's all about me, and I don't even give a about my kids finding that. I don't care what that does to their head for the rest of their life.
And I think the weight, the heaviness of that weight leads to the Bronco chase with a gun.
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe that's it. Maybe, maybe that's where it was going to, maybe if it's, like you're saying, if it's true, maybe he thought he would end it there. Who knows what was going on? But the thing, that's always my question, did he do it? Because I don't imagine, I haven't met, and I'm sure there's people out there, and I know there's people out there, because some people just don't care about their kids, but it seemed like he cared about his kids, to leave your kids to find something that was going to traumatize them for the rest of their life. Fortunately, the kids didn't find the bodies. Yeah. But that if everything was to have gone the way that the prosecutor was saying it was going to go, that he was attempting to do, the kids would have found the body.
Right.
And that to me is like, to me that's, I'm understanding what you're saying, that you could black out, that someone could push your buttons in a way that you could go past where you ever thought you could go. But once you saw what you did, there's something about your kids, I just don't think leaving your kids there. That's the one thing that's always troubled me about it. That's the one thing that when people are going, yeah, he did it, I'm like, man, but you're going to leave your kids there.
Yeah, as foul as that is. Again, I don't know them waters because I don't swim in them waters, but I have waded in the shallow end of mother. You know what I mean?
Dude, I don't think there's anybody who's been in a fight with a like a serious girlfriend or a fiance, wife, and you're having that argument in the car, and you're just like in your head, you just go, I'm gonna put this into a wall and just end this for all of us right now, man, because it's gonna be a lot easier. It's like a thought. It's a passing thought.
It's a passing thought.
It's not something that you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Understood. But then if you say the buttons get pushed enough, things go that way, you're out, and that's over. But then you still have that second chance to redeem yourself and go, I can't let my kids find this. I got to figure out another way to make this happen.
Right.
And then you don't take that road either. That's the one that's my no-go. That's my crossover. And that's an issue. That's the issue with me that's always made me go, maybe not.
Right. Darren Williams, Black Mafia. Yo, what's up, guys? It's your Cleveland Darren listening to the show now. Did you guys watch Fight Night, the $1 Million Heist with Kevin Hart and Sam Jackson and Don Cheadle? Check that out if you guys did not watch it. It's on Peacock. It had all of your black gangsters from the 70s based on a true story. It also had Terrence Howard on there as a gangster named Cadillac. It was a great watch. I think like 8 episodes. Anyway, watch it and let me know what you guys think. Your Cleveland Darren.
I've heard it's really good.
You know, listen, this is my own bias.
It's an ensemble, though. It's an ensemble.
It's my own bias, and it's, whatever it is, I will or will not work through, or may not. I don't know. I'm not a fan. I've never watched anything with Kevin Hart in it. I can't sit down and I don't know. I can't. And I'm not in any way, I always say, phenomenal talent, funny as the movies. He knows how to steal a scene. Obviously, the numbers don't lie at the box office. They don't lie at the turnstile, at the arenas. Just, not me. I can't. I don't. He doesn't make me want to watch something. Maybe I'm too caught up in the whole, it's the Kevin Hart persona, but not my cup of tea.
I think there's more to it than that.
There is.
Okay. And that's fair. You can have that. But it's good. I heard it was good. I want to watch it. And but I think I think that whatever you're talking about right now, but the rest of the ensemble deserves to be seen. And I think that you should check. I'll look at it and I'll tell you you could disagree with me, but I'll tell you if I think that you would watch it and get past it because of all the other people in it.
And I'll agree with you in that way. I don't have to watch it. Incidentally, if I had some wood to knock on, Mark, give me a hit. So kind of like that same situation with me and Wes Miller in that movie that I did, had another dude reach out to me on Instagram, a director by the name of Elliot Lester. And long story short, he basically said to me what Wes said to me. He goes, dude, I want to put you in a movie. I want to work with you, blah, 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 blah. So I IMDb'd him, and he did a movie coming out called The Thicket with Peter Dinklage and Juliette Lewis.
Oh, okay.
And Andrew Schultz is in it.
Oh, wow. That's quite an ensemble right there.
Yeah. And, listen, Peter Dinklage, I don't know how far A-list goes, but he's the A-list of all the midgets in terms of midget actors. Is he A-list up there? Would you say Peter Dinklage is up there with Brad Pitt or George Clooney or Denzel? I don't know.
He's definitely not up there.
That's funny. But between Game of Thrones and so much of the other things he's been in, he is the #1 A-list midget in the market.
He is, he has, his IMDb page looks stronger than anybody else's,
Right, and Juliette Lewis, remember at one time or another, when she was at the height of her success, I mean...
Veep?
Seinfeld? Seinfeld. No, you think of Julius Lee.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
California with Brad Pitt.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What was the movie?
I'm off.
Natural Born Killers.
Natural Born Killers with Robert Downey Jr., Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
Cape Fear with Robert De Niro.
That is one of the... That movie's fantastic.
Yeah. So...
I fucked up.
Yeah, so this dude... I'm meeting with him on Wednesday at his office. And... he said, yeah, man, I want to put you in a drama. So, who knows? Maybe lightning will strike twice.
There you go. You're good you're good in heavy scenes.
That's because I'm heavy.
No, I'm serious though. It's good. It's good. It's a good retort. But you really are good in heavy scenes. You have a personality that you have a buoyancy that holds that together.
You've got range.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens.
Good luck.
Thank you. Solid Snake. Comics. Hello, A&A. I hope your new year is going well. I recently heard on the podcast that you guys talked about the new Superman movie. I'm excited to see it. I hope it does well. But since you guys were talking about it, I was hoping I could get you guys' opinion on this topic in comic book movies and shows. I was wondering what you guys thought of race-swapped and gender-swapped characters and whether the actors have to be exactly who they are playing as. I'll give you guys an example. In the new Fantastic Four movie coming out this year, they struggled to look for an actor to play the Thing, which confused me because they only needed to find an actor with a deep voice and a New York accent. The reason they were struggling was that they were looking for an actor who was Jewish. I knew he was Jewish, but always assumed that the Thing was famous for being an 8-foot tall hulking rock man, not for being Jewish. Incidentally, this is how. Excuse me, I must say that with the bad guys here, since I'm the Thing, that it's clobbering time. In other words, it's time to up. That's how he's gonna play it. Another example is the Silver Surfer has always been a man, and now a woman is playing him. They said this movie takes place in an alternate universe, and it's the Surfer's wife that took the deal from Galacticus and not him in the universe. But like Deadpool once said, that's just lazy writing. I'm sorry if this email was long, and if it sounded like an angry comic guy rant. Guys, keep the pod going. And again, I hope you guys come back to Houston soon. One last thing. Who's your favorite superhero and what version of them? Again, the comic book geekdom that I'm not. I don't really have a favorite, but who am I more partial to? I don't know. It's a cross between Superman and Spider-Man. And to answer your question about the gender sex swap, leave my heroes alone, man. Now, I know in some instances, and this is the comic book nerd, I didn't know Superman was black until people pointed it out. Because, again, I don't swim in the geekdom. But I've always known Superman to be Christopher Reeves. So, Batman is white, Christopher Reeves, Superman is white. Leave the white and the black. And stop all this, new wokeness. Everybody deserves, a chance.
You just ended DEI even in the comic books.
Yeah, did I?
Listen, because we have a multiverse, it doesn't make a difference because you can insert anyone in and out. No one had a problem with Captain. No, not even gonna remember.
Captain America?
No.
Anthony Mackie?
No.
Chris Evans?
Marvel.
Captain Marvel. Yeah, that's a man. But in comic books, it was they also Captain Marvel became a woman through the timeline. It didn't make a difference. No one cared because they weren't really introduced to that character, so they weren't that partial to it, so it didn't hurt anybody's feelings. It's just that you get comfortable knowing something, and then you change it, and it feels out of place. As far as the Thing going in its costume, he's supposed to be Jewish because he was Jewish, but it isn't important. It isn't important unless you're going to bring Jewish culture into the Thing's character, and I don't think
who
that's
wants
happening.
that?
I don't think that's going to happen in the movie. Yeah, maybe if he was sitting there and he goes, "I just need we got to get back to New York. I need a good, I need some matzo ball soup. I'm not feeling well. I don't know how you're going to bring the culture into it because the Thing, like you said, becomes an orange rock. It's not so you want someone who can emote and play a character past the suit. So I don't understand why that's an issue. I think with the multiverse you can change anything. But I understand your feelings though when you have something and it's comfortable to you. You don't need to change or fucked with. But, it can be done in this multiverse. I think it can be done.
Speaking of this new Superman with Corn Sweat, And I'm not a fan of it. I'll go see it, but like I said, I don't like the baggy suit. I don't like the look. I think it's wrong coming off of Henry Cavill. It just doesn't do it for me. But I saw something on the internet that was kind of funny. So they have a picture, and first of all, have you seen the new preview where Superman is flying and he does the 360?
No, I haven't seen
You
it.
haven't seen that?
No.
Well, yeah, he's flying, and it's almost like a fishbowl lens.
Okay.
So they show him, flying, and his body does a complete 360, but while his body spins, they cut back, and it's like really close on his face. And the eye, there's something where it looks like one eye is going one way and the other eye is straight. It looks kind of goofy. I think, is this it? Is it? If I see it, I'll let you know. But anyway, so they show that right there.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying
See,
with the eye.
so they show a still picture of Henry Cavill and him flying as Superman. And then under the picture, it says, my name is, what was the guy's name in Gladiator? Ceridius Maximus Decimus, or whatever that is.
Maximus.
He says, Henry Cavill, my name is Ceridius Maximus Decimus. Then they cut to that picture, the one you just saw, with his eye going one way and the other way, and under that it says, my name is Jeff.
You know what it looks like to me? Henry Cavill is Henry Cavill, right?
Yeah.
And then, when they make the toys,
Yeah.
he looks like the face on the toy.
Who does?
This new guy.
Corn Sweat?
Yeah. Like, he looks like Henry Cavill's toy.
Okay.
You know how it never gets the right features the right
right,
way?
right,
The eye
right.
can be a little
Yeah,
wonky.
yeah.
It's not exactly the same.
Right.
That's what they look like.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, I as I said in my post, I think the was it James Gunn fanboys, they want this movie to succeed so bad because this always becomes tribal. It's the James Gunn fanboys versus the Snyder fanboys. And when you read the comments, it's the same. Oh, you get off his. Oh, you suckers. You mother. It's like the LeBron Jordan debate, So you're either team Gunn or you're team Snyder. And I'm not really team anything, but between the two, come on, man. Henry Cavill, Snyder, compared to this new. That's why I totally got it. My name is Jeff. It looks goofy.
Dude.
The baggy suit, the eye one, it looks goofy.
Do you know who the Toxic Avenger is?
No.
Okay, never mind.
Listen, Superman is anything but goofy. He's goofy when he's Clark Kent, because that's, part of the disguise. But other than that, he's the perfect superhero. He's the Jordan of superheroes. He's indestructible except for kryptonite, which would be gambling for Jordan.
I don't put as much into it as a lot of people do. I don't care if it's the Snyder or the Gunn. Put a good version out. One's going to be a little bit more pop, and the other one's going to be more art, like higher art. If you want to call it higher art in a comic book series, but that's the difference to me. And they both, I don't eat a gourmet meal every day. And I don't eat junk food every day. But there's days I want junk food and there's days I want a gourmet meal. And that's, when I'm looking at it, that's kind of the difference, man. They're going to offer you something. You're either going to like it or you're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy the take that this one actor gives you over the other. Looks are important, but like you said, you walked away from the Batman and went, okay, it wasn't bad. He's actually a good Batman. He was
Batman.
Yeah.
Was he a great Bruce Wayne? I couldn't stand him out of the costume. And you're supposed to buy into both.
Yeah, but he was the child Bruce Wayne. He wasn't
he
his
was terrible.
he wasn't his adult Bruce Wayne yet.
Terrible.
I think, like he said, there was something there. Everybody's going to offer you a little bit. Do they get it 100% right? I don't know. But it's a comic book movie. Enjoy the comic book movie. I didn't buy I bought a lot of comic books in my life. I didn't enjoy every comic book. Some were good, some were bad. I like the artwork of certain artists over other artists, but it is what it is, man. And I think the movies reflect that. Embrace it. If you're a comic book guy, if you were a geek and liked comics at all, which I did, embrace it the same way you like comic books. You loved it when certain artists were on your book. And then when they left, maybe you didn't like it so much, but you liked the storyline, so you can continue it, and then there would be more reappearances the artist would come back, the inker would come back. I don't know. That's how I approach the movies. I the same way that I do the comics.
Public. How do you say your name? Publius. I want to say Publius, but the I in there is throwing me.
I don't know.
Publius Rosa. All right. Super Gremlins, defamations. If I were a rapper, Aries, and listened to your defamation of me, I would write that Kodak song as a diss to you. He is talking about people like you. I'm a drug addict. Oh, this is this guy.
It's like you said it. Oh, this is this guy.
I'm a drug addict who you think wants to kill you because I care about knowing history and cultures, and I think you would be great in drama short directed by me. Everybody applies criteria to me. They don't apply to themselves. You're a comedian. You are the emo drug addicts. I respect Lord Jamar hip-hop knowledge. That Mark dude is absolutely not even in my league and reminds me of these same ass liberal in New York City art world hating on me. You, Mark.
You.
Crazy you guys chose that as another POV on pod. Dime a dozen, literally.
He set up his own camera. We didn't even tell him to set up a camera.
Next episode is going to be on my nuts just for you.
That's funny. Harry's, I bet you wouldn't have with MJ that summer. He got cut in high school and he decided to be GOAT.
That's a great question. Go keep going, but that's a great question.
To be GOAT or death. I bet you wouldn't have fucked with Ali in 1967, 1970. You're a Monday morning quarterback. Even worse, you're a hypocrite. So haters, by age 32, I came to New York City from Kentucky with $40 at 19 alone and never visiting. 13 years later, I finally got fucked up and became homeless. Didn't over people and go gay. I've invented fundamental iconography. What is that?
I'm not going to know. Iconography.
Iconography.
He invented it, he said, so.
Yeah, well, yeah, he probably invented that word.
Yeah.
And field that is oldest of humanity, a billionaire and field shook hand. I have influenced Julian Schnabel.
He's an artist. He does a lot of things with plates.
Reissue of his 1996 Basquiat film 2024 Rizou film poster. And I have people I respect and give attention to thinking I have toiled under these ignorant cowards to kill them and or get hooked on drugs because an art scene that produced elite talent I show respect and attention for and shared with you to be asset to your platform, or because I find punctuation and invention that don't age well, and it's proven by how misunderstood thoughtful souls are here. To be clear, I have no emotional issues or drug addiction. I smoke weed in creative endeavors. Life is too ignorant with this too from pure cut Colombian cocaine. Hate me now, third verse of Jay-Z, Lost One. Second verse, I'd rather be homeless than sell drugs to your kids. And you see why I went this guy.
Why you what?
Why I went, oh, it's this guy.
Yeah.
Listen, from what I gather, he's an artsy dude.
Yeah. Knows a lot of artists, knows a lot of people.
Okay.
And
he's had some struggles.
yeah. We all have.
Right. I don't understand what his gripe is.
I don't know. But I do like
Because I may have jokingly with him.
maybe.
Oh.
I like the question though, because yeah, you defend Jordan as the GOAT, and,
Yes.
and I agree with you. But if you were in his high school and he gets cut from the team, do you still see him as the GOAT?
Wait a minute. If I was in his high school?
You're in high school, and you see him, and he gets cut his freshman year. Do you
But he
think,
still goes on to do what he did?
yeah, but do you see him differently because you saw him as a weak player? He
No.
couldn't even get on. He couldn't even make his high school team.
It's high school. Who the is the GOAT in high school?
Just saying, it's interesting. But how many people do you think went? This dude's nobody. He can't even make the. And then he has a good. He had a good high school run, but he wasn't talked about as the greatest player ever coming out of high school.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
And I agree with you 100%. But it's just an interesting idea that so many people probably didn't see him being anything.
Well, the man that cut him didn't.
Nope. Well, maybe he did. Maybe he said, "Hey, man, you have to get a little stronger, a little faster. You have all the potential in the world, but you need to work on it. Come back next year."
And maybe
That's
maybe
what was
he
needed.
was the fuel. Yeah, okay.
So I was just saying that's very interesting. I haven't heard anybody ask that question. So it's a very he has some enlightening thoughts. I think his thoughts were enlightening.
You know, Justin, the manager from the Improv, who you've heard me mention on here a gazillion times, super cool, blah blah blah, gets it. You know, he had that one moment where he told us, remember when Cedric the Entertainer performed at what was, it's not around anymore, but what was the West Palm Improv.
Yeah.
That time Jordan came in.
Yeah.
And he was telling me in the car the other day when we were going to do press that there was an incident where Donnell Rawlings, Jordan was around, and he was smoking a cigar, and Donnell Rawlings reaches his hand out to shake Michael's hand, and he goes, Michael looked at him and ashed his cigar ash in Donald's hand, and Donnell went, nigga, I'm keeping your ashes, and put his ashy hand in his own pocket. And I just went, word. Like, and you know, when we had Jay Moore on, I've heard stories. Mike can be an asshole.
Yeah.
And then I've heard he's a great guy. And I just went, he really did that.
But Donnell's actually Ashy Larry, so maybe he felt that was just the appropriate thing to
Do you think it's like that OJ thing?
Which OJ?
When he saw all the black people in Brentwood? And
No, because Mike does have love for his own people, even though some people try to run with that narrative that he doesn't. But goddamn, like what an asshole thing to do.
and he knows he could do it.
That's when I heard that, I went, word. I hurt. I was like, a piece of me went, wow.
No, because Donnell's the nicest dude, so it's not like there's this offensive guy coming up to him. It's Donnell's nice.
Wow, the balls to dude. I don't know if I was telling Justin, there was another clip where I guess Michael Jordan was at some function in L.A. and it's over, and he's leaving the function, going to his SUV, and he's Jordan, so he took the drink with him outside the building, and he's going to his SUV. And as he's walking to the SUV, a lady yells out, "Michael, I love you." And he goes, "I know."
Well, but that goes to that thing when we watched the Bob Dylan thing. And she goes, "But Bob, I love you." And he says, "Does that scare you? Considering I just met you."
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the same thing. How many times is here, "I love you," but always striving to find love while everybody loves you, but no one loves you. They love the idea of you. And I think after a while, if you're that person at that high, that level, that you probably get sick of hearing it. Because your whole life you're working for love.
That's what that sounded like.
Yeah,
I know.
Wow. Dude, there has to be frustration with being that guy, but I love that scene in Comedian when the guy shakes Jerry Seinfeld's hand and then he comes back
We
again.
just did this.
We just did this. And
Yeah.
his wife's like, just, there's a point where you have to, you want to take a little of yourself away.
Yeah.
I don't know, but to do that to Donnell, I don't know what was going on at that time. I'm not shitting on Jordan, but I can't imagine what the situation is where you think that that's going to be okay. Because knowing him, knowing Donnell, knowing how respectful he is, he's a very respectful guy towards other people. So
Yeah.
I just can't.
And then I can imagine you standing in front of one of the most famous people in the world, and it's Jordan. You got to be nervous and intimidated.
Right.
On top of that,
And then, that hurts my Jordan love. It
That's
really
what I'm
does.
saying.
It really does.
Oh man.
There's a lot of people you could have done that to, and I probably would laugh, but he's not one of them.
Thermal Heat, male singers. Sup, Spears and Steinberg. Regarding your discussion on male singers, it's not a surprise that you think Luther's the dude that can come anywhere close out of all the male singers to Whitney. That may be because Al Green liked women, Marvin Gaye liked women. It would not surprise me if Luther was up at the studio putting it down as Whitney can, and someone in the booth Somebody wrote someone in the both. Someone in the both was like, you need to hold that back or everyone's going to know you don't like women. Aries, I loved your impression of the Boston kids mad because of the black kids being bussed in. Your S's were so long on the N-word that it was almost like they invented spelling the N-word with a Z at the end, LOL. Last letter I wrote in got $10 a lot of money. I was disappointed. Not because I got $10 a lot of money. I try my best to spell check and proofread before I send it out. In fairness, I'm assuming we are all trying to write in our voice, which does confuse spell check. And the way it sounds when I'm reading it in my head is different from how you read it in yours. But what disappointed me was that you did not go after me for getting $10 a lot of money. The best part of the Thursday show is listening to you struggle with someone's grammar. I could tell it upsets you, which is so hilarious. You're like a high school teacher I had who was Nigerian, and he just wanted to give up on all of us black kids who got to this level, and we were writing like we learned it from the Wu-Tang Clan. Keep it going. Peace. Son.
I like that email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, because he didn't want to get a $10 a lot of money, but if you got one, he wants you to give it to him.
Right.
I like that he's in it.
Okay. Okay, Austin Powers. Long-time fan, first-time email. Steve, I don't have to tell you.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Huge fan, brother. Would you mind doing an Eddie Murphy impression on the pod? I'm from Jersey and been to a few shows. First time emailing in, though. Andy, you're okay, too? Call back. He wrote call back. For real, the pod is great while on the road. Dude, as you can hear, my voice is not up to par right now. I'm hoping when I get to the show, I could drink some throat coat and some lemon and honey, and my shit will be all right because we got 3 goddamn shows tonight. But I'm gonna have to give you an IOU on that one, Austin. Yeah, baby. That's Austin Powers, right?
Yeah.
Andy cracked up at your
That was the deepest, by the way.
callback.
Yeah, that was the deepest. I did laugh at it, but that was the deepest Austin Powers voice I ever heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Your voice is a little
cracked.
Yeah. It's been a rough weekend.
Trucker Don. Hey, A&A, my name is Donnell. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Twin Cities. You should do a show here. We're actually, aren't we going to be in Minnesota?
I don't know.
Yeah, we are.
When?
A theater date, one night.
Oh, yeah. There is. I don't know when it's coming up, though.
You should do a show here. It's a beautiful city. I don't know if you visited Minnesota, but Jesus. Visited Minnesota before, but I think you will like it here besides the cold. I'm a new emailer. I know you get a ton of emails from other fans, but here's mine. It's an old TV series called Breaking Bad. Jesus, how old are you? If you haven't already seen it, it's like that scene in
Did you find the date?
Avengers Infinity War when Robert Downey says to Peter Parker, all right, we got a situation here. What do you suggest? He goes, okay, I got an idea. Remember this really old movie, Aliens? Oh, my God. If you haven't already seen it, you and Andy should check it out. Check it out. 5 seasons of men food. It's about a chemistry teacher has been diagnosed with cancer and in debt, and he hooked up with an old student of his to make money by selling meth, and it's a roller coaster ride. I think you both will enjoy it. Do a show in Minnesota. We have a comedy club in Mall of America. Come so I can support. Well, you got a lot of $10 all over that, Trucker Don.
We're going to go and we're just going to do old jokes.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen Breaking Bad. We've talked about it. That you are very old. Been there, done that. Incidentally, we have a one-nighter at a theater in Minneapolis.
I didn't see it. I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Maybe it hasn't been put on the...
For whatever reason, the person, I think it's a chick that runs the mall, the one at Mall of America.
It's Mall of America is House of Comedy. Yeah,
Yeah, she won't bring me down there.
it's it's
Tammy?
yeah. It's what was his name?
Bronson?
Yeah, it's his ex-wife,
Bronson, who was the first name?
Rick?
Rick Bronson. He's a comedian from Canada,
Yeah.
and he owns those.
Yeah, well, for whatever reason, his wife ain't got no love for me. But what are you going to do?
I don't know. I heard it's nice. I've never been to it. Have you been to it?
I've never been to it, no, but they do a good job at their clubs.
Really?
The one in Phoenix is beautiful.
Well, I'm not saying they don't. I only know the one in Phoenix.
Yeah.
I'm saying it in a great way. Like, really? That's great. That's good to hear.
Come on, Tammy, book Aries.
Leroy Furious.
Tammy likes my T-shirts. I know that.
This will probably be our last one, too.
Okay, let's do that.
Bob Dylan is trash. I don't listen to Bob Dylan. He mumbles like a modern-day SoundCloud rapper. I'd rather just listen to Migos. I do enjoy 4 Johnny Cash songs. Ring of Fire from Tony Hawk Underground 2. It Ain't Me featuring June Carter. Why did that make you laugh?
That's where he knows it from?
Yeah.
Tony Hawk? Fucking Johnny
video
Cash,
game?
you know it from Tony Hawk?
It Ain't Me featuring June Carter. Folsom Prison Blues. And I really enjoyed Johnny Cash's Hurt cover of the 9 Inch Nails song. Peace.
Well, you picked out some good Cash songs. And you don't give Bob Dylan. You say he's like a mumble rapper. You don't give him credit for being so far ahead.
I was gonna say, but he means way more than that.
He was so far ahead. He was ahead of the curve.
I was ahead of the curve so far that they couldn't see beyond the sidewalk.
With the iguanas and the
With
frogs.
the iguanas and the frogs crawling over a bed that hasn't been slept in. Yeah, man, I'm sorry, Leroy. I'd have thought of all people, you would have been a fan of that. But, you've corrected me.
Yeah, that's it, man. And we already gave out the dates. You know what that
so
is?
there it is.
That's a show.
That is a show.
Let's go do another show. Let's do 3.
Cocaine and anal.
Spears and Steinberg.
Thanks for listening to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. For more information on where to find us on the internet, visit spearsburgpod.com.